Hello everyone, my name is Omega the Real, or Omega if you want to keep it short and simple, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution G2 Toxitron. And note that is the first time I probably haven't complained about a long title of a toy in a while, probably. But enough about titles, let's talk about this guy. Toxitron here is yet again another great use of the Laser Prime mold. And surprisingly, this is the first time I'm talking about it on my channel. I do own the other two versions of this mold, and I gotta say, this is a very tough decision to make on which one is the obvious best one. Because they all do different things, but obviously Toxitron here is going for a very exaggerated look. So let's start a review off with that. Details on this guy is fantastic. Just like the other two Laser Prime molds that we've gotten, nothing's really changed here between releases. But some fun facts to know is that this is a heavy Earthrise Optimus Prime retool. And by heavy, I mean the entire top half is brand new and the legs are basically slightly modified to look more G2 accurate. Which is weird to say, but I guess we could say that. Overall, the greeblings and all the design on this guy is fantastic and really helps him out. I mean, for being almost $60+, this guy definitely needed more detail just to qualify for that. But we'll see why he gets all that later. Paint, on the other hand, is I wish it was better. Not saying that the paint here isn't great. Of course, it's applied perfectly in places where it is, but I think it's more or less the molded plastic green that they chose for this. I don't know, but I would have preferred seeing G2 Megatron's type of green on this rather than this avocado kind of muted greenish yellow that they put on here. I don't know, it just doesn't give off the toxic sludge feeling as much as the other figures, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't look right, and the green on his sword is probably a better color for one that I wanted to see. But I shouldn't be complaining, this is technically accurate to the last two releases, but those things weren't even mainlined, and this thing is, so the more you know. His articulation is stunted. Like the other two releases so far, he's got giant ass shoulders which limit him going up and down, and honestly, I don't want to complain about this guy. I love the other two releases so far, and I love Toxitron here, but these shoulders are just a pain. They can move, but not in a way where it really helps to get more arm length out of this guy. You could basically keep him in the same spot and they'll be fine, but I really wish we could have improved on this somehow. But considering what other stuff comes in this guy, I think they don't have the budget for that. But overall, I don't think I'm allowed to complain here because everything else on this guy feels solid, and Toxitron is a pretty solid release so far. Saying that in mind, let's get to some weapons. And he comes with a handful. He's got his sword here, which is pretty cool. It's a standard plastic translucent sword, I guess. It's the same weapons that came with the other two, so if you're expecting something new, don't. He's also got this weird axe looking thing, and all of it combines into a sword, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's not the most innovative weapon, but it's definitely something that the Energon gimmick from the first line really improved upon, and I think it was one of its best uses of that tagline, I guess. I don't know, I like the design of the sword, and technically it's supposedly called the Terminus Blade, only with the Shattered Glass Magnus though, but I think I like the design a lot with the sword, and the other two pretty much do justice as well. He also gets a Matrix of Leadership, which has also come with all the others and Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. It's absolutely a different design compared to the other Matrixes we've gotten from other molds of Optimus Prime. So if you're a completionist like that, then you're gonna have a hard time. I'm just saying, it's not very different. It is a lot, it's very flat and also stretched. It's a weird shape for a Matrix, but overall it does fine. You can't really hold it that well, so you can put it in his chest and it looks fine. Or you can put it on the sword and have it technically as powered up. I don't know. It's your toy. Play with it however you like, I guess, or whatever Emgo says. His size, on the other hand, is actually pretty damn good. He's a Voyager Plus figure, is what I like to say for leaders these days when it comes with trailers. So he's going to be Voyager class size, but we'll talk about his trailer in a bit once we get to the vehicle mode. But Overall, sizing with the rest of the G2 guys, he goes fantastic with them, and seeing so many of these guys release in the past couple years where G2 was just a forgotten dream where everyone hated the gaudy designs is actually kind of fulfilling to see. From going to the most hated thing everyone's ever seen to somewhat cherished. He's come a long way, and honestly, I think Toxitron's helped that a lot, especially with all the unreleased figures that we've been getting from that line. Pretty damn cool. But now that we've talked about the robot, I think it's time we talk about his trailer. Yeah, he's coming with the trailer too, just like Earthrise Optimus, which is kind of expected considering this thing was a heavy rework of that. So seeing a trailer here, like I said, kind of was wishing to see it, and we do get a pretty cool design for a trailer. Probably the best use of a trailer, even more than Kingdom Rodimus. But enough about comparing past figures. What about this guy's trailer makes it so good? Well, for starters, it actually feels like it weighs more than 3 cents compared to the Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer. That thing just feels flat and doesn't really give off much strong plastic vibes. They charged us $20 more just for that. Can you believe that? It's crazy. But no, Toxitron and the Laser Prime mold in general has had great trailers. They feel very fun. The plastic doesn't feel cheap like they were made in a Chinese factory with overworked kids. I don't know where I was going with that. It doesn't feel cheap is what I mean. And it actually has a little bit of play value here as well, considering it turns into a battle station for Toxitron, and it has a turret, where the last thing we got was a med bay, or a battle station, if you could call it even that. I don't know, this trailer just, I feel like it functions so much better than the original trailer for Earthrise Optimus, and seeing it with Toxitron and getting him out there, it looks great. It's a great centerpiece as well. So if you have any ideas with the trailer, go crazy with it. Alright, now that we're done here with this robot, let's get to the transformation. Something that I've been dreading, because mold degradation is real on this guy, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say it, but maybe it's just my copy, but this guy's transformation isn't as fun to do as Scourge or Laser Prime's, because there's a lot of things on this guy that doesn't tab in as well as Scourge or Prime does, and I really hate to see that. I was hoping this would be the better version of those two molds, considering those molds were already good, and was hoping to see that this thing would blow this out of the water, but no. Somehow I don't enjoy transforming this version as much as those two, but for stopping to compare for a second and actually looking at the vehicle mode itself, it does a pretty nice job of displaying itself. It's the same greens and purples that we got before, so it's kind of weird. And we actually do get to see more of that red translucent plastic that was used for the head. So seeing that more in person, it looks great. Honestly, I don't think I have much to complain about the design of the truck. It's pretty damn good and very Bayverse in general. I mean, I think I speak for all of us when we say that we're still waiting for Bay Designs' Legacy. Not all of us, but at least most of us. Putting the trailer on him as well completes the look, and he looks fantastic. I love the little sludge effect that they put on the side of the trailer, although he doesn't have the giant Toxitron text like he did with the cancelled prototype. But we can take what we can get. And seeing all this put together, finally seeing Toxitron be able to be bought on store shelves rather than being a collector's club item or BotCon item or whatever you want to call it, it feels fulfilling. Like I said, this guy's come a long way from being some obscure character to something you can actually go out and buy on shelves. Well, not anymore at least. Kind of late to this review, but who cares? Overall, my final thoughts with Toxitron is that it is yet again another perfect release. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. It is not perfect. I don't think any figure in my collection is. But I will say it is a damn good figure. Something that I've been expecting, that I've been wanting to see from Laser Prime for a long time. The original toy was good, but it had loose joints. I can't think, I'm sorry guys. The Velocitron Scourge was good, but it had a horrible paint job that just was not accurate to the 2001 cartoon at all. But Toxitron here finally proves that Hasbro, if they listen, can do a toy justice years after being neglected. And I think I speak for all of us when we say Toxitron was pretty much the toy most of us were wanting from the Laser Prime mold. That and Scourge. So now that we've gotten all the characters from that mold, what do we do with it now? Well, I think we know it's obvious. We make an Ultra Magnus out of it. But that depends if they're willing to redo Shatterglass again. And I don't think they will. Well, that's been it for this review. My name is Omega, and I will talk to you all later.